Good evening and welcome to Sunset News. I'm Glenora Shipura, bringing you news, community stories, weather, economic news, and much more on this Monday evening. Getting into the news tonight, MTC CEO Dr. Likhi Erastus this morning said that the rollout of 5G services will result in lower data costs, faster speeds, and enhanced connectivity. MTC is testing its 5G capabilities. The operator will announce at a later date when it intends to launch 5G commercial services. Huawei Namibia Country Manager Michael Zhang at the same event explained what benefits 5G technologies will bring once implemented. Zhang made the remarks during a trial to launch 5G services in Namibia. MTC is trialing the technologies together with Huawei. Let's take a look.
Draw your kind attention to note that 5G is a fundamental platform for the 4IR. Because it is not just another G on the path of mobile technology evolution, but 5G combines greater data transfer speeds and higher processing power to enable the Internet of Things, connectivity on a massive scale. It will have a significant impact on every aspect of our digital lives. With 5G comes reduced data rates, reduced latency, energy savings, cost reductions, and higher system changes.
5G offers ultra speed to enable super mobile network services compared to 4G, which allows us to watch 4K videos, live streaming, and other seamless internet experience like you saw in the video, right? Other than that, it also has a much lower latency compared to 4G, which makes it possible for all kinds of remote operation. For instance, you are seeing the unmanned vehicles for mining, unmanned crane for ports, and one of the use tests we are doing in other countries is the remote medical operations. So our doctors, for example, in capital cities will be able to operate people from rural village in rural areas via 5G.
Namibia's massive ambitions for the creation of a local green hydrogen industry gains momentum with the March announcement from Clean Energy Solutions Namibia that the environmental compliance consultancy has commenced environmental assessment for construction of an ammonia terminal at the port of Walvis Bay. Clean Energy Solutions Namibia is a joint venture between local group Althaver and List and CMP Tech from Belgium, which already supplies green hydrogen to various marine and industrial applications. Clean Energy proposes to construct the ammonia terminal comprising of a double-wall full containment 40,000 metric tons ammonia storage tank and associated facilities with a nitrogen generation unit, fire service water tanks and pumps, an emergency diesel generator, and a wastewater unit. The organization wants to build a 12.7-kilometer carbon steel ammonia pipeline from the terminal to Farm 58 near Dune 7 and an 80-kilometer carbon steel green hydrogen pipeline between Farm 58 and Arandis, which will store 15,000 cubic meter gas daily. A solar park spanning 10 hectares accompanied by a hydrogen production facility equipped with 5 megawatts electrolyzer and 5 megawatts hour battery are components of the green hydrogen demonstration plant on Farm 58. You can read more on this story in NMH's mining supplement. Getting into our next story, Vice President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah arrived earlier today at Uvungu Green Scheme in the Kavango East region for a scheduled visit in efforts to address food insecurity in the country. She was also expected to visit the Mashere, Hitemo, Shadikongore, and Donga Linena Green Schemes during the same visit. Let's take a look.
Not Having seen and received the report from the ground on the food insecurity in the country because of the drought that we are facing, everybody is seeing it. And this is not only affecting Namibia, even some SADC member states were also affected. So the president then sent me in my capacity as the vice president to come and assess the green schemes and specifically to look at the preparation for the winter crops and for us to see how we can really assist to make sure that the winter season become more productive. And that's why I said during our discussion, I really expect the manager to tell more the technical thing and to advise as to how do you think you could be, the government can chip in as a matter of agency in order to make sure that your winter harvesting can really add to the food basket in the country. So this is really the purpose of the visit, just to get the understanding and then to see how we can really assist the situation. So thank
In a significant cultural collaboration, the National Art Gallery of Namibia and the National Museum of Namibia have partnered to launch artistic research and communal knowledge, reconnecting with returned cultural belongings, a pioneering exhibition that marks a concerted effort to foster a supportive environment for Namibian artists and scholars. This groundbreaking showcase opens on Thursday, the 11th of April at 5:30 p.m. at the National Art Gallery of Namibia. The exhibition will be on display until Saturday, the 18th of May, and entry is free. According to a press release issued by the National Arts Gallery of Namibia, this initiative is further bolstered by the involvement of the Museums Association of Namibia, the Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation, the University of Namibia, the University of Bonn, and Namibia's Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture. The exhibition aims to illuminate the rich tapestry of Namibian material culture through a unique engagement with archival and communal knowledge. The ARC project, co-founded by the Hendrik Bol Foundation, is a sub-project of the larger Confronting Colonial Past, Envisioning Creative Futures project, which is funded by the Gerda Henkel Foundation. It targets the last part of the title, Envisioning Creative Futures, bringing together contemporary artists, knowledge keepers, and artisans in Namibia to develop new, more equitable ways of sharing knowledge and skills across generations and urban-rural divides, read the press statement. Now moving on to our economic news, Benaman Energy today released the results of its scoping study results at the Etango Uranium Project. After the break, we expand on this.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Getting into our economic news, Benaman Energy today released the results of its scoping study results at the Etango Uranium Project in Namibia, highlighting the robust technical and financial viability of two future phases. Etango XP, involving an expansion in throughput capacity to 16 million tons per annum, and Etango XT, extending the operating life from 15 to 27 years. The company, listed on the Development Capital Board of the Namibian Stock Exchange and the Australian Stock Exchange, received a mining license for its flagship Etango in December, along with award of initial contracts for the Etango Early Works program. under the Etango XP scenario with an expanded throughput to 16 million tons per annum starting from year 5. The project could yield a significant amount of uranium over 16 years with a life of mine uranium oxide output of 95.2 million pounds. This translates to an annual average output of 6.7 million pounds, Bannerman said in a statement. Now, the expansion phase capital expenditure for Etango XP is estimated at $325 million US. The Etango XT scenario, maintaining a throughput of 8 million tons per annum, projects a LOM uranium oxide output of 95.2 million pounds over 27 years, with an annual average uranium output of 3.5 million pounds without requiring additional capital expenditure. Bannerman CEO Gavin Chamberlain said developing the world-class Etango project at an initial 8 million tons per annum throughput scale is the company's core focus. The scoping study was undertaken to demonstrate the ready technical and financial viability of expanding or extending Bannerman's base case Etango operation following its successful construction and ramp-up. The cost estimates for the development of Etango is about $320 million US, or around $6 billion Namibian dollars. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 24.04, against the euro at 20.59, against the US dollar at 18.92. 2 Namibian dollars and 63 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, platinum went down and gold, copper and Brent crude oil went up. Brent crude oil trading at 0.44%, going for $86 US and 3 cents per barrel. After the break, we take a look at our story of the day.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into our story of the day, Ben Freeth completed his journey to the SADC Tribunal earlier today. Freeth traveled from Zimbabwe to Windhoek on horseback to hand over a memorandum to the SADC Tribunal asking that this court be restored to its full powers. In 2008, Freeth won a court case in this court when a judgment was delivered that labeled the controversial land redistribution policy in Zimbabwe as a policy that was completely based on race. The government of Zimbabwe consequently withdrew, and the tribunal powers were limited in 2021 to disputes between SADC member states. Individuals and companies cannot therefore approach the SADC Tribunal. He addressed a crowd of supporters at the SADC Tribunal. Let's have a look.
Finally, I can be here on the steps where I was last on the 28th of November 2008, 15 years ago, where we got an amazing judgment from this tribunal, saying that we were allowed to stay in our home, that we were allowed to carry on farming, that we would be protected by the police. But unfortunately, that did not happen, and we had terrible things that took place after the 28th of November 2008. We had people come to our house and surround our house and threatened our workers with guns and stopped our workers from being allowed to work. And then they went ahead and they stole all the crops and they killed all the animals. And eventually they beat up a lot of our workers. Some of our workers, one of them got a fractured skull, I remember, another had broken feet. They had a terrible time, and we had a terrible time. And I thank God that my daughter is here. Anna, come here. Anna was very young at the time. She's still quite young. And I remember one night they broke through the doors of our house and they lit fires all the way around our house.
Pakistan has launched overnight air attacks inside Afghanistan, while the Taliban claimed hours later to have fired across the border. These and more international stories coming up after the break. Getting into our international news, Pakistan has launched overnight air attacks inside Afghanistan, while the Taliban claimed hours later to have fired across the border. Tensions flared on Monday between Islamabad and Kabul following the overnight raids. Pakistan said the attack had targeted armed groups hiding out in border regions. The Taliban said 8 women and children were killed. The Afghan Defense Ministry claimed later on Monday to have fired across the border at Pakistan positions. Islamabad has not yet commented on the claim. Pakistani military and foreign ministry sources confirmed to Al Jazeera that the retaliatory attacks had targeted the hideouts of commenters of the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan or Pakistani Taliban due to terrorist activities being sponsored and conducted from across border. They offered few details. However, on Saturday, a group of suicide bombers targeted a military checkpost in Pakistan's North Waziristan district in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, which neighbors Afghanistan, killing 7 soldiers. Afghanistan's interim government said the Pakistani jets had hit the houses of ordinary people in Paktika and coast provinces. Getting into our next story, the number of new marriages in China jumped 12.4% in 2023 from a year earlier, reversing a downtrend that has lasted for almost a decade as more youth tied the knot after delaying their nuptials due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of newlyweds rose to 7.68 million last year, according to data released by the Ministry of Civil Affairs last week. This was up 845,000 couples from 2022, but still far below the peak of 13.47 million couples hit in 2013. The data comes after China's Premier Li Qiang pledged in March that the government would work towards a birth-friendly society and promote long-term balanced population development, as well as reducing the cost of childbirth, parenting, and education. Policymakers are grappling with how to reverse a declining population where the birth rate is falling and society aging rapidly. Roughly 300 million Chinese are expected to enter retirement in the coming decade, the equivalent of almost the entire U.S. population. China's population fell for a second consecutive year in 2023 as a record low birth rate and deaths due to COVID-19 accelerated a downturn that officials fear will have profound long-term effects on the economy's growth potential. Now we take a look at our weather predictions. Katima Mulilo, Rundu, Enana, Oshakati, and Ruakana can expect partly cloudy conditions. Katamamulilo with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius, or Shakati with a minimum of 22 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Oranjemund can expect cloudy conditions, while Hendes Bay can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can also expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 24 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. After the break, we take a look at our sports news.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Getting into our sports news, Erin Koff from Namibia is taking part in the African Games and for track and relay at the University of Ghana Stadium in Accra. She did talk to Namibian Sun journalist Tuyemo Haidula about her excitement. The Games started on the 8th of March 2024 and they end on the 23rd of March 2024. The Games are featuring 54 countries, 29 sports and held at 9 venues. Now let's take a look at the rest of the news from the Sports Rep desk.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Koff and I am going to be doing track. I am doing the relays. Yes, I'm finding the experience really nice. I'm looking forward to the Games officially started today, so I'm looking forward to it. Going to go and support the rest of my Namibian team. Yes, thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right, ciao.
Ciao.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with soccer news first, and the semi-finals have been determined. That will be on the 20th to the 21st of March of the FA Cup. The FA Cup quarterfinals was over the weekend. The draw was made after the quarterfinals and it is Manchester United that will play against Coventry and it's Manchester City that will play against Chelsea. Both those games on the 20th and the 21st of March will be played at the Wembley Stadium. Over the weekend, it was Manchester United that beat Liverpool in a pulsating game by 4-3, and it was then also Coventry, their second league team. That was a surprise for them to reach the semi-finals. They beat Wolverhampton by 3-2. Also, Manchester City, the defending champions, they won the title in 2023 and they beat Newcastle by 2-0. And then Chelsea, they had also 2 late goals to beat Leicester City by 4-2. Moving on to tennis news, and it's the ATP tennis news first. It's the men's side of world tennis. It is Carlos Alcaraz that won his first title since July of 2023. He's currently the world number 2. He will remain in that position. He won the Indian Wells tournament in California and he beat Daniil Medvedev by 7-6 and 6-1 in the final. The last tournament that he won was Wimbledon, and that was in July in 2023. And currently the world number 1 is Novak Djokovic, and Novak Djokovic fell out early in the Indian Wells tournament. On the women's side of the draw of the Indian Wells tournament, it was world number 1, that is Iga Swiatek, comfortably winning. She beat Maria Sakkari by 6-4 and 6-love, and it is Iga Swiatek that maintained the world number 1 position in the world. The next tournament that will be played on the WTA Women's Tour will be the Miami Open. It will start this week and it is Iga Swiatek that will also play. And the big news in the tournament is that Simone Halep of Romania, she will make a comeback after many years of suspension. She had a suspension overturned recently and she will play in the first round against Paula Badosa of Spain. And continuing international sports news with golf news, on the men's PGA, it was Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1, that defended his Players' Championship title in Florida. He came from 5 shots back in the 4th round to win on a total of 20 under par. A last round of 64, that was 8 under par. So he beat Americans, Bruce Harmon and Wyndham Clark and Xander Schauffele into 2nd place. They were all just 1 shot back of Scotty Scheffler. The total prize money of this tournament was $25 million and the winner's check was $4.5 million that went to Scotty Scheffler. And to close off today's international sports news, it is cricket news. It is the women's IPL that was concluded. The final was played. It's the second year it was played, and it's the Royal Challengers Bangalore that won their first title. They beat the Delhi Capitals by 8 wickets in the final. The Delhi Capitals batting first, 113 all out just before their 20 overs, and the Royal Challengers Bangalore 115 for the loss of 2 wickets with 3 balls to spare, and with Elise Perry of Australia 35 not out. It was the second consecutive year that the Delhi Capitals played in the final and lost in the final. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And with that, we have come to the end of the broadcast. But before we head out, do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the Inuit platforms on weekdays and Sundays, as well as on our website, oneupto.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.